Hopefully everybody can hear.
Yep. I can hear you.
Let's see. Mic check it. Yeah. Looks live. Only one of us on camera today. That's alright though. The ugliest
It's all the one we need.
Alright. So, welcome everybody to tonight's episode of Mage. Thank you for joining us. This is our first live stream, and I hope I don't mess it up. This is Demon Gate. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we have many more games coming, I hope. Also, there should be some upcoming Kickstarters for our new sci-fi game, new chaos stuff. We do have playing with us tonight. Please introduce yourself and your character. We'll start with Shazad.
Hi, I'm Wanderer, and my character is Shazad the Reaver. He's the captain of the ship that we're all crew of. He's a Sharfeen lizard folk, and a former pirate, now mostly mended his ways.
And Pip.
Yeah, hi, I'm Quinn. I'll be playing Pip, the Mongru, High Dwarf, Moodai. No one is really sure what their job was on the ship. They haven't been seen doing work, per se, but they're always kind of hanging out, hanging from the rigging, showing off, doing tricks with their hammer. They're there for some reason.
The captain probably figures that Serentish knows.
Yeah. And Carl.
Hey, I'm Carl, and I'm playing Neil Gine, a self-proclaimed sellsword that quite literally fell from the sky onto the ship, and in exchange for being given a ride, offered their services to the crew, and has now gotten tangled up in their misadventure on this isle.
Awesome. And I'm Rogue, the Game Master for tonight's episode. If you are interested, please check it out, www.arcanumsyndicate.com. We have PDF and hardback available. Also, the music that you hear tonight and all of the cool art is made by the wonderful people in our industry, and you'll be able to find the links in the descriptions. Let's get to the game. Everybody's going to have a rare view of everything I'm doing behind the scenes, I think, in this game. Get to see all the times I cheat.
Oh no, forbidden knowledge.
Behind the magic.
I'm going to do like a couple of intros here. One's kind of going to go over the game that was last, that happened last time. And then I'll start with the rest of you. Last time on Mage Realm. Everybody see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Serentish, Nil, and Una had been split from the captain. They ran into a strange sailor named Thulgar, who carried a magic sword and claimed he had found it. Then they were attacked by a bog maiden and fought several of her minions. Thulgar had been mind-warped, though, and he got knocked the fuck out. Then a strange wizard came to help them. Apparently this undead mage claimed if they helped him with something that he could help them get off the island. Now we flash back to the captain and his group, which was 2 sessions ago. The Sky Tamer, the flying vessel of Captain Shazad the Reaver. They had found the wreckage of the Endeavor. The ship was in the marsh below. They were contracted to hunt down a magical staff called the Stormcaller, and it was said to have been stolen from the Endeavor by a dread pirate, Captain Veldroth of Ichabor. Following the map given to you by your employer at North Dawn, you found the location of the downed ship and went to investigate the wreck. You had hoped to find some clues to the whereabouts of the dread captain or the staff. However, the ship seemed as though it had been there for 100 years, and it was haunted by strange beings from the Veil Mist, as well as the dead souls of pirates. So you all cleansed the ship of the spectral hunters and headed back for the Sky Tamer. Yet, when you went to find the rope, you noticed that the mist had grown heavier and the Sky Tamer was nowhere to be seen. As well, the very land around you, it looked as though it was somewhere you had never seen before. So in that session before, the mist had kind of swallowed you guys. It was just surrounding you, and then all of a sudden several people that you had been with before weren't there anymore, and you were kind of cut off from the group. So in this first scene, I kind of wanted to have Nil, you're by yourself in this scene, all right?
Yep.
You were in the hut that you see right there, pictured, is kind of the hut of Abdul Zahir, the undead mage that had helped you before. Well, told you that he could help you. So as the unconscious Thulgar, I'll put him there so we can just remember what he looked like. Thulgar was unconscious, and he had been mind warped, and he was going crazy, so Una had knocked him out. And you guys stole his sword, I think. Did Serentis steal the sword, or?
I think they like to call it safekeeping.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say Serentis has it then, right?
I believe so.
But I think that night, Abdul does talk about this cave where these pirates were. It's nearby this location, and sometimes it's not, But he had mentioned it in passing, we'll say. But that night, while people are sleeping, and you're kind of laying there on a cot or on the floor, wherever you'd like to be, there's a fire going, and you start to feel this weird ache in your bones, and kind of hear these whispers in your head that wake you up out of this dream, this nightmare, almost. And you start to feel almost... It's hard for you to feel pain, right? Your character has, no pain, I believe.
Yes.
So you feel more like just this ache, and you notice that the flesh on your hands, it seems to be getting worse, the necrosis. What would you do?
Nilla's going to stare at their hands for a second before quickly... First things first, they're going to quickly remove themselves from the area so as that no one else would see it, trying to keep quiet so as to not wake them up. And once they're out, they're going to examine their hands, try scratching at them, see if it's something that they've got on them, or if it's just their flesh itself that is withering, as it seems.
So, the only way to really get some privacy is to maybe step outside. And going outside the hut, you notice that the necrosis is just getting worse, and If you could feel pain, you could tell it's just inside your body, like racking your bones, and they feel very cold. And so you're kind of wondering what's happening to you, and kind of, trudging in the mud a little bit. Make a willpower check.
Any modifiers?
No modifiers to this one.
A 9.
All right, that is enough to withstand this. But as you're kind of maybe shaking, watching this happen to your body, it is the second level of your mutation is what's happening, really. I think you have a mutation. What is it called?
Necrotic.
Necrotic, right? So you're in the second stage now. So you do gain the bonuses of it. I believe I put it in your abilities or your racial abilities.
Yes.
So you can kind of read that over, and as you're kind of stepping out into the swamp, into the fog, and looking at your body, we're gonna go to another scene with Pip and Shazad. You guys have sight there?
Yep.
For you two, the fog has moved, and where you once saw maybe the waters of the swamp out there, you notice that you're near a small stream in the trees, and when this fog and the mist is all moved away, it's only you two now. All of the others that were around you, the part of your crew, are gone. You do notice that the twin suns are gone. It's hard to even see the moon if it's out. The cloud cover and the fog is just so heavy, and you seem to be in some kind of forest. You guys can go ahead and take it away, though.
Shazad's looking around him in great confusion. He'd been all ready to go back to the ship. It's always where he feels most comfortable, and now not only is the ship gone, but they're somewhere strange. And he's kind of looking around him, he whirls round and he's staring off, and he can't see anything that's a familiar frame of reference from a short time ago. And he looks around and realizes that at least he's not alone, that Pip's here, and he sort of whirls on them and sort of says, "By all the gods, Pip, where be the ship?"
I don't know. But look at these trees. We could build a new ship, right?
And Shazad squints at them and sort of says, "You be playing with old Captain? Why, it takes a skilled carpenter years to build a ship as fine as the Sky Tamer."
Yeah, it wouldn't be as good, and it wouldn't necessarily fly per se, but what I'm saying is we're not necessarily stuck. We might just be on an unplanned vacation.
Can't even see the sea from here. This be strange times, Pip. Strange times. And he's kind of scratching the scales on his chin, looking very unsettled.
Oh, what is life if not one big adventure, right?
Well, that be true. That be true, but I prefer to face my adventure with a certain knowledge of treasure at the end of it, and some grog in my hand. Oh, my ship, Pip. Oh, if any harm comes to the Sky Tamer, I don't know what I'll do. So many years in that ship.
I'm sure it's fine. We just have to find it again, right? I mean, we went into that big fog and we got lost. It happens.
Oh, this be more than fog. There be magic at work here. This be nowhere near where we started. I doesn't like it. But still, you're right. We should make the best of it. Embrace the adventure. But that be the pirate. I mean, the legitimate sailor way.
Yes, privateer.
Aye. Shazad be no longer a pirate. And then he pauses and says, and never was.
Of course not.
He sort of, well, we should be getting on our way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Any preferences for direction?
I'll look around. Can I, find out which way is north?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check, or unless you have the navigation skill.
I do not. Pip is just kind of looking, squinting, hoping at this point. Perception?
Yeah. Oh.
We should go east. I point south.
The captain's probably too distracted to really notice because he's very upset at the thought he's separated from his ship. So he sort of nods and says, "Well, so be it, Pep. After you. Let's see if we can find some more of the crew on the way."
And totally, you head east, which is really south.
It's very subjective.
And to be fair, it's very difficult too. Like, the fog is out and you can't even see many stars or anything like that. So Pip and Shazad start to take off. Nil, when you're out in front of the hut, for a moment, I'd say you lean against this tree and you're wondering, how far this ache is going to be, or, how crippling it's going to be. It just takes you to your knees for a moment and your head swims, but you're able to, focus. You're able to get your bearings again after maybe, 10, 20 minutes. And when you get back up, you notice the hut is no longer behind you.
Of course. Nil's gonna just groan for a moment and then try to make their way to their feet. They're going to bring out some wraps from within their bag to cover up their hands and try to cover up as much of the necrosis as possible, before starting to look around, trying to gain their bearings as to where everything could have gone to now.
Alright, go ahead and make a perception check as well.
Eight.
Nice. As you're looking around, you notice the tracks of your own feet, you believe, that you start to follow even, to find your way back. You do notice the sound of water, and it sounds like two voices in the distance. One of them sounds very familiar, like a certain Sharfine lizard man that you've heard before. And it's off in the mist.
Nil is the rather cautious type, but they aren't going to start to try to approach the voices, try to follow them. At least trying to get a hang of something that seems familiar. Unsure if it's really who they think it is, or if it's just another trick of the Isle.
So cautiously. Do you want to kind of sneak, maybe? Stealth?
Yeah.
Cool. And this will be a new perception check by Pip and Captain.
Cool. Shazad, as they're wandering along, by the way, has remembered that he's got his compass with him, so he's consulting that at the moment.
Ooh, interesting. I forgot you got a compass. Since you have a compass, you're pretty sure that your Pip said east, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Like, you're definitely sure that you've been heading northeast on that compass. That's what it says now.
Okay. Shazad will point sort of more eastwards and just going to say, "It feels, Pep, that we've veered a bit from our course. Let's move a little in that direction." And he kind of points more eastwards and kind of holds up the compass for emphasis.
Yeah, sure.
And as you start to head that way, you do come upon an area where you can hear the water, the shores. In the distance, it looks like maybe that the suns are rising. Nil, you're kind of creeping along, following behind, I would say. These two figures in the fog, and as you start to realize who they are, indeed, you notice Pip and the captain there. I'll put you guys up here. And kind of the fog is almost clearing this area a little bit. The mist kind of sticks to those trees behind you and to the west of you. And you notice the island far off, to the eastern part where the shore is coming up. And you guys are pretty much walking on the beach now. No clue where you are at all, but Nil, you're approaching behind them.
Seeing more clearly now that they are indeed, at least it's indeed Shazad. Not quite really remembering Pip due to not interacting with her really back on the ship. Nil will call out, "Captain Shazad?"
Shazad will whirl round and sort of before he sees it's Nilgain, he'll say, "What's it to you?" And then realizes it's Nilgain and relaxes a little bit. And it seemed to be a mixture of panic and aggression when he got his name called unexpectedly. But he sees Nilgain and relaxes a bit and says, there's a familiar face. 'Tis the one who fell from the sky. Where's you
Nelson,
been?"
right?
Nil. But close, I suppose.
My bad.
So where's the others?
That is a good question. I just lost them. Or rather, I lost an entire shack.
I've lost an entire ship.
Shack.
I know, but I've lost a ship. And he's looking at the sky
Okay.
and trying to find
A
it.
ship moves. I don't know how I would lose a shack.
Aye, but our ship shouldn't have moved.
Fair.
Sky
Yes.
Tamer. We can't lose the Sky Tamer. She's my pride and joy. And he's looking all around the sky for her. And then sighs and says, "Well, 'tis clear it is magic at work."
That it is. I was with Serentish and Una, as well as a pair of strangers, and the chest we got looted from the other ship, and now they're gone with the shack. I had to step out to tend to something, and just like that, the mist took it.
Oh.
Well, if anyone can keep the treasure safe, it's Serentish. I've never seen a finer sailor. But 'tis unsettling that the mist likes to take us away from each other. And he's turning to kind of scan their surroundings. And did you say it looks like the suns are coming up?
It does.
Okay, so that will give him a bearing as well. And he kind of checks that against the compass just to make sure that this makes sense. And
Yeah, it
nothing
does.
else weird is happening.
It does seem like these that you're facing off to the east now, over those mountains in the distance, on the shore here. West would bring you back into the forest again in the mist.
Okay. Yeah. Shazad likes to stick to the shore. He feels more comfortable close to the sea anyway. But any notable landmarks? I anything notable to head for, or also anything that we recognise from before the mist came down? I guess we
You,
didn't see much, did we, before the mist came down?
yeah, there was that battle in the sky with the mist all around, but you do recall looking at the navigational maps with Gabriel, um, and go ahead and make it an intelligence check. Actually, that might work. I don't know if you have navigations.
I don't, unfortunately. Serentish normally does the navigation. And Gabriel, I guess. Hold on. Let's do attributes and intelligence. Not great.
That's rough. I would say all you can remember about the Isle of Illusion and the maps that you looked at. Let's see here from my bearings. Okay. You do recall that the western shore of the isle was pretty much open sea. On the eastern shore, that there were quite a few smaller islands that were hugged up next to it. I don't know if that's going to help you or anything like that, but it did seem that there were islands that ran all along the eastern shore, smaller ones broken up. So,
Okay.
but the Isle of Illusion is pretty much like one really big one, and there's smaller ones around it.
Okay. And I take it I couldn't see the ship in the sky, even in the distance.
No, you're not able to see that. You do notice that the fog kind of hangs around this forest as well to the west as you look at the isle, and you can see the fog. You know, it even raises up higher, with a little bit of like mountainous regions and higher peaks and stuff kind of peek out of the fog.
Okay.
It's a big island.
Well, Shazad will say to the others, I don't know what your thoughts are, shipmates, but for me, I'd rather stick to the shore. I don't like it we can't see the ship, but we should make the best of it. Follow the shore and we can't get lost.
That makes sense.
As much as I want to agree, we do still have people and loot lost in the mist as of yet. That said, we were with someone who claimed that they knew the way off this island, maybe back to the ship.
Whereabouts were you in this, before you were here?
Well, It's hard to say where I was in the island.
Were
You,
you in forest or?
um, we came upon some ruins, then we went deeper into the forest. Yes. However, with how the mist behaves, I don't think landmarks will really matter. At least not right now. You'll see once you step into the mist yourself. Though it does
Oh,
seem like it does not want to reach out into the shore. I wonder why.
I must say that much as I'd like to see our shipmates again, I doesn't like the thought of stepping foot into that mist again. It's unnatural. We all got lost far too easy.
that's fair. The question is, though, what do we do if not search for them? You know? We could sit here and not go anywhere. We can walk along the shore and take a look. Maybe we can spot where you were from the shoreline. That would be convenient, but
I say we head to high ground. That's our best bet of seeing for a long way, and well, then we can see the lie of the land.
Unfortunately, I think the only high ground is deeper into the island. And that as well. I should mention, we did find the Endeavor.
well, if we find it again, then we're close, right?
The only problem was it looked like it'd been there for 100 years.
Aye, and
Not
'twas
far,
hot.
yes, far longer than it should have. So, I think we're in a bit of a race against time. Or rather, time is racing against us. If the mist has anything to do with what happened to the Endeavor.
Well, this is beyond my magical training as far as knowledge goes, but uh, erring on the side of caution, I guess we'll just go for it. Yeah, we should stop standing and talking.
Agreed. Rogue, is the only high ground we can see back in the forest, or is there a route to any other high ground?
Yeah, unless you swim across the water to the islands and stuff. There's peaks on the islands out there, but the highest ground, yeah, is to the west of you.
Is it far?
It's hard to tell, but it does look like the mountain is within a day's walk.
It's a long time to be in that mist.
Well, it might be worth it if we can get up there and maybe map things out. Then, if we do get stuck in a random spot, maybe we can determine where we are.
It's true. Yeah. The captain spends a while staring into the mist and then says, "Well, so be it. Let's get back into that foul, accursed mist. Maybe we should, I don't know, rope ourselves together or something. Anyone got rope?" He starts checking his own pack. And comes up
Yeah.
wanting.
Yeah, I don't think I have rope either. I was thinking something like that, though there are dangers in the mist where us being roped together would be inconvenient.
Aye, 'tis true.
Perhaps we should just walk really close together.
Aye, we'll stay close.
Oh, just everybody grab a hand and keep one free if you can. Or a belt, I guess. Whatever you need to do.
No, I suppose we should just stay within sight, stay close, an arm's reach from each other.
Yes, that would be best.
Very well. Follow me hearties. And he kind of lifts his hat for a second and scratches his head. And you can see his shoulders got a fresh wound on it, and he kind of flexes that a little bit. And then pushes his hat firmly down on his head. And then squares his shoulders and walks into the mist. Waiting for you guys to come to.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't recall. When did you get that wound? That was during the fight on the Endeavor, right?
It was, yeah. It was.
It's been a while. Does anybody have any food and water and stuff like that?
No, I don't think I do.
No, I just have a wineskin with a little rum in it.
Hey, like a pirate should.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't bring any food or water.
Those
just
are
coming down.
rations.
Yeah, that's true. It's part of your daily ration. But no, he didn't bring any food or water down because he thought he'd be just going down to the ship and coming back again.
Right. Not on this cursed island forever.
Yes, unfortunately, only nil rain from the sky, not food. So
Speaking of that, are there any signs of like wildlife or anything?
You can certainly hear it. So there's got to be something alive on this island. You can hear the animals and stuff, and the insects and the creatures in the woods. Plus, those creatures that you fought too. I don't know about them being edible, but they were pretty nasty. I think as well, when you had killed them, that you realized that they were people that had been turned or mutated into monsters. Pleasant thought.
Yay.
All right, to the west you head then.
Yeah, just going to try and kind of take a compass fix on the mountain or the high ground, and then kind of use the compass to kind of fix on that and try and keep in a straight line.
Excellent. Compass is a good thing.
Nil will take up the rear.
Shazad's prized possession for a reason.
Alright. Everybody go ahead and make a perception check as you trudge back into the forest.
Shazad's just staring at the compass. He's half convinced he's going to do something magically crazy, so he's keeping a very careful eye.
And one more. Nil. Could you throw down a perception check, please?
It is. Roll20 is loading. It seems
is it taking its time on
it
you?
seems to be pensive. Oh, there we go.
Mine was doing that as well earlier. I had to restart. I had to restart the whole computer.
Oh, Shazad is just looking straight at the compass, I see.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a few hours pass as you're trudging through. You do hear, the creatures around you. You do notice the swamp water as you're kind of walking along the land. It's a little muddy. There's a lot of like that duckweed that covers the water. You notice something like large, almost reptilian, has a long tail. You kind of come around a tree just as it starts to go under the water. You can see its tail slither down into the water. something large, though. So cautiously, you probably pause for a moment to look at that. Shazad at that time is looking at the compass, and that's when you notice the mist is around you, right? You notice that the compass starts to turn by itself.
Shazad starts swearing at that point. He was half expecting this, and he was, yeah, swearing away to himself. Damn this mist! Damn it!
No,
Not even a good honest.
Swatted
Sorry.
him a little bit. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, he says, not even a good honest compass can help a fella in here.
Captain, I think you have a relative here.
Shazad looks up and sort of looks around and goes, "What was that you said?"
Something reptilian just went into the water.
Well, Pip just kind of hefts Skull Splitter, their hammer. We're prepared for it, right? We'll be fine.
Shazad pulls out his cutlass. Sorry, go ahead.
Nil looks a bit apprehensive at the water. Well, it could be just something like an alligator or a crocodile, or it could be yet another abomination like the last one.
The last one. What kind of abomination be you talking about?
Try to think about the worst fusion between a human and a gigantic spider.
That sounds unnatural. Okay.
And not the ones you might hear in a fantasy or fairy tale. No, I'm talking about really bad. I'm talking grafted together.
Shazad pauses and has a good swig from his wineskin. You smell rum, and he holds it out to see if anyone else wants any. He says, "'Tis a bad do. 'Tis a bad do." He doesn't like any of it.
Neil just holds up a hand in no thank you manner. I say we just keep sharp and try to keep to ourselves and not attract the wildlife, because I think they do seem to know how to navigate this island.
Yes, well, Pip will take a swig. Of course, we're going to do our best not to have any unfortunate altercations. However, we do need to get where we're going. So, good to be ready for a fight because one might happen. Looking around, do I think that I could move through trees rather than through, like, swampy water?
Yeah, definitely. It's possible to make your way on the soggy, muddy land in most areas. There's little pathways and stuff like that. It might take a little bit longer, but it's traversable.
Well, we can spend more time walking that way. And, between being late in terms of time or being late in terms of dead, I prefer the former. Although time's also very important for our survival at this point.
At that time, Shazad, your compass, it spins around. Quickly, circles, and then it goes and it stops. And it looks like now that you're heading north. And at about that time, you notice a strange light in the woods. Could be a lantern, perhaps, or a torch. off in the distance. You can just see it glowing.
Shazad
Oh.
puts his compass away and looks to see if the others have seen it.
I don't like that, but I also really want to know what it is.
Aye. Could be a friendly light, or it could be a creature luring us in. Either
know, it's-
way, I say we goes that way and we keeps our wits about us.
The odds are 50-50. I think that is probably the best idea right now.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, as long as it's not an anglerfish, I'm good. And Pip will start walking in that direction.
Shazad immediately starts imagining a fusion between human, spider, and anglerfish, and immediately needs another swig of rum, and tries to banish it from his mind.
You do notice that the light starts to grow quickly through the woods. It moves across the water, and you can tell it looks like it's flying. Now, as it starts to move across the water, zipping through the woods, and it starts to come right towards you.
Shazad says this. I don't like this. Seems like it could be some kind of foul spirit. Prepare yourselves. We could be in for a fight.
Pip is going to try to hide in the tree to get the jump on this if need be.
Okay, go ahead and do a concealment check. If you don't have the concealment skill, it'll just be a perception. Ooh, nice. Nice hiding spot.
Oh, damn. No, for their part, is just gonna draw their sword and shield and try to take like a low stance, maybe see if they'll just miss them if it's gonna try to go past.
Okay. Defensive stance, pretty much.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll mark you with that. Anything special the captain's doing, or just awaiting?
Yeah, he wouldn't have occurred to him by himself because he's not naturally defensive. But seeing a more experienced warrior take up that defensive stance, he realizes it's a good idea and does the same thing.
The light, it comes right at Nil and stops. About, I would say, 5 feet from you. And just hovers there for a moment. You can see this light. It's just an orb of light emitting some kind of... You think it might be magical energy.
Neil is gonna try to stare at it for a moment, see if there's just by getting a little closer, maybe using their astral sight, try to see if they can spot anything about it.
Yeah, as your eyes flash, you begin to see the blue mana. You could actually make a thaumaturgy check if you wanted to.
Oh boy, like the one skill I have.
Is it?
Yeah, is the only thing Templars get, I believe. Not if I could find it.
Did I not attach it to your skills, your macro? Oh, theology and exorcism is what you have. Unless you bought it, you might have bought it.
No, I don't. I don't have it.
Okay,
So,
but
is it? What's it default to then? Just intelligence?
yeah, intelligence.
Oh boy, the stat I got a -2 from a head wound.
Oh,
Yay! This
Okay.
blue
Average.
mana flowing around it. You think? I think that's good enough. A simple roll, or a simple success. would let you know that it's some kind of divination orb or something like that. Maybe just simple to create light or to maybe hunt. And then right after that, you notice a familiar figure making his way through the woods. Oh, there you are. I found you.
Ah, Abdul.
It's
No.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Nell will turn to the others and motion towards Abdul. He's the one that was helping us, the one that said he might have a way to get us off the island.
Well, that would be greatly appreciated. Captain Shazad, at your service. And you might be... who?
My name is Abdul Zahir. Sometimes I forget about my accent, but it's all right. I totally forgot what his accent was last time.
happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Somewhere between, like, I would say it was somewhere between, like, used car salesman and old man.
Yeah, I think it changed a couple of times. So he comes.
He's workshopping it.
Yeah, he comes walking up, and I think since there's so much mist out here, you would probably just see it straight hand. As he's making his way, you notice for a moment as like a trail of the mist passes over him. For a moment, you can see his rotten, undead figure, and the robes kind of flowing around him, and the items, kind of hanging on his bones and his rotten flesh for a minute, and then after that cloud passes, he's gone, or it's back to normal. He looks like a human again. He says, I am Abdul Zahir. It is nice to meet you.
Shazad kind of rubs his scales on his chin and says, So, Abdul, been here a while, have you?
I have. Perhaps too long, actually. I've been living here and studying the island for many years.
Many years alive and dead, perhaps.
Yes. This is true. As you can see, sometimes the mist destroys my disguise. This veil mist is strange indeed, and it is why so much superstition surrounds this place. I came here long ago just to study the place, and I decided to stay. I noticed that you had left, Nil, and he looks over to you.
Yes, I had a problem and I had to step out. Unfortunately, it took longer than I thought it would, and by the time I turned back, the shack was no longer there.
I thought you might have gone hunting or something, and I knew that the mist might claim you, as it does to many. Yeah, it is unfair, I tell you, but I can share with you the knowledge, the way to navigate it, if you do something for me.
Hip
Yes,
kind of
betray.
cautiously peers out from behind the tree branch. And what exactly would you be wanting us to do?
I want to see if Abdul even saw you. That's the first time you made yourself noticed, right? Right?
Yep.
And target number was 15. It's amazing he found you. No, so he's like totally surprised by Pip peeking around the tree or peeping out. So he says, "Oh, are there any other friends around here? Hiding, perhaps?"
Not so much as hiding, but we believe some of our other friends are lost in the mist.
I see. You are Captain Shazad, did you say?
Aye, that I be. And he says, he takes off his hat and says, Shazar the Reaver, at your service. And he kind of sweeps a low bow with his hat across him.
He smiles. A little smirk off the side of his mouth. And he runs his fingers through his old beard and says, I have foreseen your ship in the mist. I suppose I knew you were coming. Strange that some things that I can see and some things that I totally miss. And he looks over to Pip and kind of winks. He says, this orb here. And he holds up his hand. You notice the orb of light. It goes back into his hand and vanishes. He says, perhaps I should gift it to you as a way to help you navigate. After you help me, of course.
I see. Does it not get lost in the mist itself?
It does not, for it, like the mist, is filled with magic.
Counterpoint. Won't we need it to do what we're going to do for you? So we don't get lost while doing so?
And he turns kind of to leave as you say that, and he says, no, not at all. I can take you there now.
So before we agrees, what be the nature of this job or favour you wants doing?
And he looks back over his shoulder and kind of leans on his staff for a moment. He says, I need someone rescued. Someone dear to me. She has befallen some rough times, and I have sensed her in danger.
Well, in that case, time is of the essence, Captain.
Aye. Abdul, I's inclined to acquiesce to your request, but I would make one condition. If we helps you, that you will aid not just us, but also any of our crew that you finds lost in this accursed mist. Oh, that was quite a difficult one for these folks to say.
He nods several times and says, indeed, agreed. I will help you. Make sure your crew, as well as you, Captain, get back to your ship safely.
Very well then. And Shazad strides towards him purposefully and spits on his palm and holds his hand out and says, then we has an accord.
Aye, of course. And he kind of takes his weathered hand and doesn't really shake your whole hand, but more like your finger. Good then. Abdul says, your friend, Sarantish, he looks over to Nil, the rabbitkin, I believe she is, one of the Fae. They took off into the forest looking for you after you had gone away. I will make sure I find that one while you all do the job that I need to be done. I am no warrior, and I think you all could do a little bit of fighting quite well, right?
I suppose.
Something that we can do.
Shazad grins a toothy grin and says, "Aye, that we could. Very well. See us to where we needs to go, and then go and find Cerntish and tell them where we are. That's a fine sailor there. We would not wish to lose him."
Abdul nods. Excellent. Let us make our way then. And you are off. Let's see here. Make sure I'm using all of the proper music. Nope, that's not the one. Far too happy. As you start to move off again through the swamps. Actually, let me just keep that on for a minute. As Abdul's kind of making his way through the swamps, it is quite a slow journey with the way he moves. But you do notice there is a creature in the trees that kind of takes off. It looks like some giant rodent almost. And in a flash, he throws a mana bolt into its side, and the creature's killed. After that, he creates a small fire using like an ignite spell, and sets up a spit for you guys to consume. He says, if you do not mind, we'll camp here for a bit. I'm sure you all could use some food. We will gather our strength.
That's much appreciated. I have some wounds to heal. I could use the rest.
Alright, let's see here.
I do have to ask. You seem to have pretty good handle on magic. What can't you handle that you need us to do?
And he looks at the fire, and he says, there are a group of pirates, the Org. They dwell in a cave not far from here. If you can, if you have to, you will need to kill them in order to rescue Tasca. She too is an Org, like them. I am not one for killing. And he kind of stares off into the fire, like really deeply this time, And he says, not anymore. Not anymore, anyway.
I see. I understand. Very well. Why did they take her?
says, she was one of them before. Sorry. Looking for the right song here, right music. Do you guys hear sound all right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. He says, she is special. She was once part of their tribe. She knows quite many poultices and alchemical creations. I suppose they use her for her knowledge, but she despises them and everything they are about, which is why she ran away and stays with me from time to time. She is a very sweet girl. What of you? Where do you come from? He looks over at Pip.
From the city, you know. And Quinn does not remember the name of said city, but
Was it one in Mage Realm? Or,
Yes, it's a major realm city.
let me see here. I don't know if you guys all have this site here. You guys have sight here?
Yep.
Yeah, there's Mistgard, I think, is where you
Mistgard is
started.
where we left port, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that would be it.
Mistgard, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from Mistgard.
Oh,
Captain looks up from his the rum that he's sipping on again, and he says, "Ah, I didn't know that. I'm Misgard, born and bred myself. Born within the smell of salt spray." And he smiles.
how long have you been sailing?
Captain looks and says, "Oh, he's been sailing since I was a mere whippersnapper. I were a cabin boy on a ship that were overtaken by pirates. Most of the crew, they just put him to the sword, but they liked the fact that I put up a fight. Always been a fighter in a corner of me." And he kind of like picks his teeth slightly, showing his big sharp teeth, and says, "Even unarmed, I can still make the unwary regret taking me on." And they liked that. They decided they liked the cut of my jib and took me on as their cabin boy. And for a while there, well, I was a pirate. And, well, I mean, and it looks like he was just going off into a little bit of a kind of reverie of pleasant memories for a minute, and then he kind of realizes he's giving a bit too much away and says, "It was a time of fearful sin and debauchery, and I regrets it deeply now." His face says nothing. Yeah, it says the complete opposite. But and he says, "Well, whereas now, I finally has my own ship, Sky Tamer, and I wants to find my way back to her. And then, of course, well, we've got a job to finish." And he looks across to the other two.
Yeah, we should focus on that.
Well, what of you? No? And, he seems like oddly curious as well about this question.
Well, there's not much to say, unfortunately. I seem to have lost my memory at some point. It wasn't too long ago when I woke up with nothing but this blade and this cloak, with not really any memory of who I was. As a matter of fact, Nilgain isn't even truly my name. It was given to me recently by a scholar. It simply means empty one. According to them, anyway.
That's... Sorry, continue.
Go ahead. No, yeah, they just go, and seem to pause for a moment.
That's awfully rude, but continue.
Well, actually, one of the crew members managed to give me a little bit of information. Skarson remembered, or rather recognized, the crest on this cloak, and they turned around to show the crest on the cloak. It's a bit of an intricate design, and it's a little bit hard to see what it really is since it's so faded and torn up. But, like that.
Did we ever really design that, or what does it look like?
It's really hard to recognize because of how torn up it is, but I think we established that Scarson could tell that it was indeed a sort of wave-like pattern to it. And that is where he got the idea from.
Cool. And he does, when I said he was, like, interested in that question, he did, like, kind of look towards the sword as well. And he said, many people have a strong attachment to their blades. It seems this is the same for you.
Quite. It has brought me through this strange time I find myself in. But they do seem to quiet up a bit about the sword. That's all they really say on it.
Yeah, he looks at it like maybe a little bit, I don't know, maybe concerned, maybe would be the best way to describe it. But he takes another bite of the meal and kind of changes the subject. He says, these pirates that you are about to encounter, they are a rowdy lot. Murderers. They have killed many that have passed through, and they have caused much trouble for me in these last few months. It seems that they have claimed this territory for their own now. I did not wish to fight them, and I will be happy to give you whatever you need for you to take over this dark task. And he takes a few more bites, and if there's not anything else, we will go on.
I think Shazad will at some point in the evening tell Nilgain he lost his memory for a short time at one point. He had some fight with a rival that he nearly died in, and he got a nasty hit across the head there. And he wasn't too well for a while after that.
Oh, speaking of which, he says, let me fix up this wound of yours.
Thank you, I'd be obliged.
Nil just nods along with Shazad's story, and they say, yeah, it does seem a blow to the head could do that. And as they say that, they sort of adjust the scarf around their neck a bit, seeming to pull it up
the rest of the time that they're resting here, Pip will just be kind of quietly watching Abdul.
Yeah, you notice he does carry, a lot of things on his, look like maybe components for spells or something dangling off his belt and his robes, and little, claws of animals or birds or and different types of feathers and stuff like that, little skulls. And he does say, I have a few items that perhaps maybe they could help you if you run into trouble.
And Shazad perks up. The thought of free stuff is definitely kind of perks him up considerably. And to the point that he offers Abdul some of his rum, which he doesn't do lightly.
So, many thanks, friend. He takes a sip, and anything special about this rum?
No, it's just cheap. Cheap and quite strong.
1, he thinks it's horrible. 6, oh, he loves it. He's like, my. Oh, it's been some time since I've had any rum, that's for sure.
Aye, warms the cockles of your heart, so it does.
For that, he's gonna give you an extra healing potion.
Hey.
Alright, 2 healing potions. He was only gonna give you guys that 1, but 2 healing potions.
If he had rolled one, would he have been like, yuck, this is horrible, and just taken back of healing?
Yeah, I was only gonna give you guys 1.
Nice.
Totally awesome.
So, does anyone want the mana potion?
I can potentially use it.
Do you want to take the mana potion? The other 2 of us take a healing potion each.
Sounds good. I don't think I really have any use for the mana potion right now.
And I guess Pip could probably take the scroll of healing as well.
Yeah, I would know how to use that, right? I have magic.
Yeah, you can read it. It basically, when you use a scroll, you don't have to worry about mana, and it's a one-time use. The mana using the scroll kind of eats it up, and it takes 1 extra action point, magic action point, to use a scroll. So, like, whatever the cost action points of a spell are, which in this case, heal is 2 AP, it would be 3 AP to use a scroll. So if you did it in combat, it'd be 3 action points. But really good to use out of combat. Healing potions are like 2 action points, magic points, to use them, and if that's if they're on your belt. Basically, any magic potions are 2 action points to use them.
Cool. Thank you very much.
So he hands those over to you guys.
How much does a mana potion restore?
25 HP.
That's solid.
So for mana potion, it restores 25 mana, or
Correct, yeah. And there's heavy healing potions and there's life crystals. Heavy healing potions are 50, life crystals are 100.
Nice.
All right.
Well, we'll thank him for that.
He nods and he says, if you encounter any other creatures or any other problems, perhaps take the rest of this creature here for sustenance. And all right, each of you get 1 more meal if you need to run out.
Cool.
Nothing else? Any more RP at the campsite?
No, just want to ask one thing to
Okay.
Abdul. I suppose I should ask, these pirates, have they been affected by the mist in any way?
He says, I do not believe so. Perhaps the mist does have a way of changing creatures. Perhaps this is what made them more vile. They were always a rowdy bunch of thieves, but it does seem that they kill on sight now. Perhaps that's why Tuska had left them. She said she was fed up with him and didn't speak too much of them anymore.
Can it physically change creatures, or was that spider-like thing that we encountered natural somehow of this island?
Oh, yes, it does have a way of doing this. Some of these creatures, I think, have come from the spirit world, or the place between the two worlds, the ether. Some are trapped here, and some are created, like the vile bog maiden that you encountered before.
That's what it was called, yes. I wonder if that creature we encountered in the Endeavor for the first time has anything to do with the Isle.
That seems to track.
Do you know of any such creature? It looked kind of like it's hard to describe, like a gigantic leech with arms that seemed to have taken the souls of some poor crew members.
Shazad shudders a little just at the memory.
This sounds familiar. I will have to look back at my studies, and my books, and all of my notes. I have encountered many, many creatures here. It was randomly encountered there at the ship, or was it living there?
It seemed to have been living there, I think. Almost like it was using the ship to lure people.
Oh, yes. And feeding on the spirits there. That seems like something a demon would do. You disposed of it, though?
Yes, thoroughly. There's a bit of, like, a solid statement behind that one word, thoroughly. Like, there's a confidence to it.
Yeah. And he says, with this blade here, and he almost like reaches out to touch it, but he like stops himself, you know.
Nil does pull the sword back a bit, and seems to immediately just clam up, maybe realizing they put a bit too much emphasis there. They just slowly nod. Yes, we this and many others, we cut it down. I went down there to run it through, ensure it stayed down.
Aye. You fought like a good un that day. Did us proud, you did.
Just doing what you requested in exchange for passage.
You've more than earned your passage. Quite a fighter, this one, says Shazad, smiling at Abdul.
And Abdul smiles. And he says, well, Hopefully, I will see you very soon. You have the power to look into the astral realm, correct? And he looks between Nil and Pip, primarily.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yes, I can.
He says, good. That way, you will find my symbol on the trees. You can follow my symbol, and you will find my home. It will be your way back from the cave. And he makes some kind of motion wave of his hand, and you can tell he's pretty much casting a spell. But for a second, even Shazad sees it for a moment. He burns the symbol into the tree as he touches the tree, and it looks almost like a Omega sign, some kind of strange symbol in the center of it. Looks maybe like almost like a pine tree shape. And he says, you'll follow this symbol back, and you will find my hut. And good luck to you all.
Thank you for your aid. We will do as has been agreed.
And he nods, and then you can see he kind of looks at his own compass from his shoulder bag, and he waits for a moment, and the compass wheel spins again. And you notice the kind of terrain around you has gently changed, ever so slightly, but not far away. You can kind of see this cave entrance as the mist kind of moves away. And he says, may the gods watch over you. And he starts to walk off into the mist. And you can see the cave entrance from where you are.
Well, we best make haste before it disappears again.
Agreed.
Aye. And Shazad puts his compass away and pulls out his cutlass and starts walking ahead.
All right. You start to approach the cave. Any weapons out in hand or anything like that?
Cutlass for me.
Sword
Yeah,
and shield
Pip is definitely carrying their hammer.
Yep, sword and shield for Nil.
Sword and shield, hammer, cutlass.
Board and board.
All right. Who's going to go in first? Or you want to have a marching order or anything like that? Or who'll be up front and then who will be after them?
I think probably Nil's the best warrior, if that's okay.
Yep, if no one else wants to go up front, Nil will.
Yeah, and then Shazad will go in the middle, I guess, and then Pip, unless Pip wants Shazad to take up the rear.
Pip is kind of indifferent to it. So
Yeah.
I'll take the rear.
Yeah, so Shazad will be just behind Nil.
Oh, Pip, do you have vision? Have you had vision this whole time?
I do, and yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Somebody like, no.
Yeah, we've been seeing.
Are you human?
No, Pip is
Here's
a
the
dwarf.
answer.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Pip's a dwarf.
Okay. Excellent. Let me see. What is your perception?
My perception, just like the base value.
Yeah, or
Let me look that up real quick.
Max value.
I've got a perception of 14.
5 times 14, 70. 70 hexes of vision. Dimming at 14. Alright, just want to make sure that's right before I copy you over to this new map. Alright, into the cave. As you're kind of creeping up to the entrance and heading in, it doesn't seem to appear like there is a guard posted or anything. It's very wide entrance. Like, you could all basically walk in, next to each other. The rocks are uneven. There's a little stream of water that kind of rushes down the front of the cave, almost creating a small waterfall, and then there's trickling water that goes into it. I'm going to move you over here to the new map inside the cave. Everybody have sight?
Green.
Everybody got sight?
Yep.
Can't see the whole map though, right? Dynamic lighting working?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're kind of going through, I should move you back over here, actually. You guys can control your tokens and stuff however you want.
I can see through here. Is that meant to be the case?
Yeah, that is correct. Actually, there's like a break, a hole in the wall there. And you can see kind of like light spilling through, so you get a chance to like see deeper into the cave. But it's not easily traversable. You would have to climb up in there to kind of go through, and it might make some noise. There's loose rocks and stuff like that. But you notice that the primary entrance is to your right, and it keeps going into deeper into the cave. You can hear like distant voices and maybe laughter and stuff like that. The smell in here is pretty rank. Smells like old death, maybe a little urine, really acrid stench in here. But it is lit by torches and braziers. What do you guys like to do? You guys can take it away.
Shazad starts walking further and waits for the others to come along too, and just whispers, "Be on your guard."
Neil looks at the opening for a moment, and you did say it's like pretty open to like look down, right? Just getting over it would make some noise.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
This opening, you'd say, is very much like very we can see through it. It just would be hard to get through it.
Right, yeah, there's an opening there, like a hole in the wall. It's pretty much crumpled rock.
Yeah. Neil looks at like that hole and then thinks for a moment. If one of us had plenty of range, they could post up here. Possibly. Or would we all rather just move together instead?
I think it's better to stay together.
I'd say so too.
Very well. And with that, Neil will start like leading the way, trying to be stealthy. Might be hard with the armor.
Alright. Shazad, you said you did have vision?
I can see. Yep.
Huh. That was weird. I was trying to like look through your token and it was saying that you didn't have vision. That was weird.
No.
Roll 20. Roll 20. Alright. Creeping into the cave.
In fact, I've got improvision if it becomes relevant.
Oh, cool. I can change your vision to a red tint now, if you'd like, but it's kind of annoying. I've messed with it a few times. I was like,
I'll
oh,
imagine it.
it's such a cool effect, you know. But yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Save it for when we're bloodied. Bloody screen, so real.
You do notice that green light. There is a strange green light coming from one of those, those cauldron types of. It looks like the fire is green, actually, which is weird. Because you do see other ones in here, and like this one over here, and the fire is normal. Yeah, so what can you see as you get in here? As you kind of creep and peek around that corner, Nil, you do notice like an old wooden rickety bridge that crosses some darkness, a pit. At this vantage point, you're not sure if it's water down there or how far it goes. Can you see a cage?
Yes, I can indeed see a cage with various holes through it.
You do notice that cage over there made of looks like very hard wood. A well-made cage in there. You do not see any enemies close by, just distant voices. You guys can move your tokens to where you would like.
Yes. Nil will just quickly point out the cage to the others and like give a knowing nod. Just whisper, That's probably where they're keeping her. They're keeping her.
And where was the cage again?
Northeast of our position. At least I assume that's the cage.
Oh yeah, I see it over
Yeah.
there. Okay. Right. Yeah.
No.
So
Does the bridge look stable?
The bridge looks pretty rough.
Maybe we cross this one at a time.
Shazad gets a bit of a wild light in his eyes and says, I'll lead the way, shall I? And before anyone can say anything, he just walks out onto the bridge. He seems to be chuckling to himself as he goes across.
Oh, can we take a quick break real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Just
5 minutes?
Yes.
Cool. See you in a bit.
My fault, of course.
Yep.
And we are live again. Hopefully. Could totally be something wrong and like nobody hears this whole thing, or that would totally suck.
Well, we've still had a good time.
All right. And the group is just about to storm into sneak, I guess, into the cave of the pirates. In search of, what was her name? Tasca?
Tasca.
Tasca, the orc.
So yeah, Shazad just made his way across this bridge, unless anything goes wrong. He seems to take some delight in the fact that it's rickety and quite dangerous. He's a bit of a thrill seeker, is Shazad. So he makes his way across, like kind of leaping from board to board, and chuckling softly to himself as he goes. He's got a bit of a wild light in his eyes, and he doesn't seem for a minute entirely sane.
As you pass over there, you notice that there is movement in the cage at that moment, and it doesn't take very long for this face to come peeking out of the bars there, or not really peeking out, but between them, and you hear this voice follow, kind of a whisper. She's like, "Who are you?"
And Shazad will make his way kind of over here, right to the edge, and will speak softly back and say, "We's friends of Abdul, the wizard. We's come to rescue you."
Her eyes immediately flash when you say his name, and you can see the excitement, in her eyes, and she starts to nod, and she says, "You have to make your way around over to here," and she points kind of behind her.
Shazad will nod and say, "Is there many guards?"
She kind of peeks back in the other direction, and then she looks back and she says, kind of grimaces at it, and then starts to nod. And then she puts up two fingers and kind of points back where she is again, behind her in that direction.
Shazad nods and then beckons to the others to come across.
Yep,
Oh,
make their way over.
yep. After Pip does so, Nil shall follow.
Oh, I think I see someone over here.
Oh.
Okay. Shazad is looking over in that direction and kind of holds up his hand and then points to his eyes and then points off in this kind of direction, but further off into the darkness. If you scroll right over and can see where I'm pinging. Now he seems to be pointing over here, right off into the far reaches of the cave. He makes a shushing gesture, finger on lips.
Pip will nod slowly and begin creeping forward.
Nil is actually going to very quickly just head over to Tasca and whisper over to her. Excuse me. What is that green glow? Should we worry about it?
She looks into the direction of that, and she nods, and she makes this hand motion to cover her face, and then she says, "Don't breathe it in. The smoke.
Fair enough. And Nil looks over at the others and quickly gets her attention and just quietly points at the green light and just like pinches their nose. Don't breathe it.
Shazad nods. He's still watching this figure over here, Rogue. And I think there's even some more moving behind them. What are they up to?
I'm sorry, could you ping it one more time?
Yeah, so he can see someone here,
Yeah.
and then some more people kind of here and here. So what are they up to? Have they seen us?
They have not seen you yet. That is where the voices are coming from. This one actually that you notice here, that one has kind of his back towards you, or her back to you. It's hard to tell from there. But you notice that that's where like the voices are coming from. They're talking about something over there. There's some laughing, and it's like a big hearty laugh. Ha ha ha, you know, like a Jabba the Hutt laugh, you know. And yeah, you notice that this one over here comes over to the fire and throws something in, and is kind of pacing around over here. You know that, I mean, if you start to cross this bridge into this area, the center of the chamber, that's probably the danger zone where it's possible you could be seen. I mean, at this point, after scouting it out a little bit. You do notice some individual tents set up. Looks like tents with orcs or pirates hanging out outside their tents, either working on weapons, you know, doing some tanning of hides or whatever. They seem to be, you know, going about their daily duties.
Shazad will whisper to the others. No, he doesn't have to kill all of them. We might be able to get through, get the prisoner, and get out with minimal fighting. If we get bogged down, we get bogged down, but let's try to keep moving and keep the advantage of speed and surprise on our side.
It gives a quick nod and begins moving along here.
This is a new bridge, so I'm going to make a roll. 30% chance is bad, 30 or below.
Oh
no.
I shouldn't have said anything. This one is going to require a dex check. And as you start to move, Pip, you look down through the cracks of this bridge. You know, this one's pretty rickety. It's worse than the other one. There is water down there, but it's just like really dark and it's kind of sloshing around. You swear you see something in it, like something with tentacles. Several things actually moving around really quickly, and you'll see some tentacles move by under the dark water.
Like that. Would I be able
Several
to
of
make
you
use
are.
of acrobatics over dexterity, or?
I think so. Yeah, that would work. Also, several of you are pretty much pirates. Not all pirates, but pretty much seasoned on ships, right?
Yeah.
they were on a ship.
So, I think it would be safe to say that you know what these things are. They're called skigs. Very horribly aggressive, like larger squid-type creatures. Be very bad to fall in the water. Just to make it more fun.
So, knowing now just how dangerous it is, Shazad gets even more excited, and he's going to make his way across.
Nice.
So, did you say dex check?
Dex check. Target 3.
Okay.
Nice.
Makes his way across, and he's going to try and be quite stealthy on the other side. So
Okay.
he immediately drops from like gleefully making his way across this bridge to suddenly dropping into a crouch and being quite stealthy.
Alright, now this one won't require stealth as much as it would be concealment. There's a lot
Okay.
of noise in here, so it kind of hides the sounds that you're making, slight creaking of wood and stuff like that, but concealment, yeah, is definitely good in here.
Alright.
And if you don't
No.
have concealment, it'd be perception. Sorry, go ahead, no.
Neil's just gonna wait for the end of the bridge to clear up before going to cross.
So I'd beckon Pip forward.
Yep. Pip's just trying to stay low. Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Oh my god.
Lucky now. The mutant rogue over there, that Vatagi, is definitely not paying attention. I think the mutant's like eating something, throwing like little bits of rat fur or something, rodent fur into the fire, or little bones and stuff. Maybe throwing them to the skigs,
Alright. 14 on the dex to cross the bridge and 11 on being stealthy.
Sweet.
Do they have any penalties for armor? I forget.
They would. I think they're like on the actual armor. It'll say like minus to stealth or anything. Are you wearing anything metal or?
No, I did away with the metal.
Okay. I think you should be good.
Yeah, it's all bone, leather.
Oh, you're
just the grid
you're
and
good.
padded, yeah.
You're good, yeah. Up here, be a little bit harder on the next bridge. That one looks really rough. We'll say 45% chance. You'll need a dex check. No, you guys will be good on that one. Oddly.
Okay. Shazad goes across and takes a big step across that big gap and then through to the other side and then on towards this bridge. He's keeping a little bit of an eye in this direction as he goes. But also now he's starting to look over this kind of direction where Tasker was indicating there were guards, so he's trying to peer off into the darkness over here and see what he can see. He can't see anything yet by the look of things.
Yeah, you do notice straight across the way there's some kind of looks like a basket maybe of something, maybe some kind of food source or something right over here. Right there's a plank, a big wooden plank that you could use to probably place over the gap. You notice a couple of tents over there, or overhangs. They do have like some old wooden crates and stuff, probably some stuff that they've, scavenged or picked up or stolen. All of this stuff probably is stolen, actually. A couple of hides. You do not notice any movement, though. You notice behind you, as you had moved across that one plank and stepped over, that area that you're at right there, there is more talking, more voices coming from over here, and they're speaking Cawthon, so it's understandable by all of you pretty much, very common. the goblin is talking to the other one about moving out tomorrow. He'll go hunting again, and I'll bring back some more for us to eat. And he says, good. He says, I need another hide. Bring me back another hide, and I'll pay you in return with some more leather. And they're just talking about some common things right now. Nothing important.
Nil is going to take cover behind this little rock formation here. And it's going to look at Shazad and Pip. And it's going to heft their shield and then indicate to this little choke point. And just indicate, like, point down towards at their feet.
Pip will quickly point toward Tosca in the cage and kind of give a questioning look.
And Nil will point back at Pip and then at Shazad and then indicate with a nod towards that direction.
Okay. Yeah. Shazad's kind of he's aware, and he's very much focused on this direction though.
So this one is going to require another dex check across.
Okay. Looks like with some difficulty Shazad manages to keep himself fairly careful on this bridge because there are enemies close by. He doesn't have quite his air of bravado on this one.
You want to... Okay, good. Nice. Easily traversed. You do not hear any talking or anything like that as you get over to this area. You do notice Tasca. She appears again between the poles, and she like points in the direction of this bleep, if you can see it.
Sorry, can you ping again?
Okay, it's around the corner from us basically.
Yeah, you see that ping, Pip?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Tasca's pointing that way, and she puts one finger up.
Okay. Yeah, and Shazad will just carefully peek around. And he'll whisper to Pip and say, "Has he got the means of killing silently? That one will see us for sure if we go over to Tasca."
This stone here, does it look like it would make it shift a lot if I were to step on it? Or
It doesn't appear so.
okay, so it's not like I think I can move quietly on this.
Yeah.
All right, I would like to just vault and kind of hammer to the side of the head and lower him to the ground if I can.
Cool.
Probably won't drop him, but
Try a
just
nice.
got that in mind.
Cool. Yeah.
Can I as Pip's kind of launching themselves, can I throw a knife? Or just be ready to throw a knife if the pirate doesn't go down?
Definitely.
Okay, yeah, I'll just be round here crouching and I'll have a knife ready.
All right. Are you stepping out, Shazad, enough to line up with the pirate? Where you'll have to make a concealment check, you think?
What I'll do is I'll only do that when I'll step out at the same time Pip's in the air.
Roger.
And then
that.
I'll line up while Pip's actually attacking and then
Sweet.
throw if it's
Cool. So you don't need to make a concealment check then. Pip, go ahead and make a stealth and a concealment check. If you don't have those skills, that will be a dex and a perception. And your target number will be this right here. Oh,
Let me just sorry, I don't have all of the macros. but I do possess stealth, so we'll do that one. Oh, and there we are.
It did. Maybe that was the rock, right? That you were worried about.
Yeah. Well, the moment noise happens, Pip's just gonna go for it.
Right. So you can put yourself there and just attack. And maybe you'll get lucky to take him out anyway.
Yeah. So Pip vaults up and just, yeah, I guess we're committed to this now. And I'm gonna try to bring kind of a heavy chi strike down with Skull Splitter.
Nice. So he will get to try to defend, but if you take him out, I'm gonna, you'll be able to silence him before he alerts anybody. So go ahead and do a heavy attack.
Oh man, that's a real low roll.
And I will say that this is kind of a surprise, so I'm gonna give him a -3. Because he's looking down kind of at something as he's working on it. We'll say he's carving something wooden and looks up just as you make that noise. And he dodges.
Okay.
That was it.
As he does so, Shazad throws a knife.
Cool. Go ahead and you can roll that attack, Shazad. Pip can also attack again still, if you have actions left, or...
I do, yeah.
Okay. Did you want that to be a heavy attack, Shazad? 'Cause
Yeah, I guess so. Because
you could totally do that.
Yeah, I guess I should take advantage.
And I'm gonna say if the knife... Actually, I'm not gonna say anything. Here we go. Defense. You'll get the minus.
Oh, it looks double digits. Yeah. Darn it.
And then this is to dodge Skull Splitter Cheese Strike again.
Come on.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, yeah.
Hey.
At least a single one hit. I will say though, the first one misses, and go ahead and do damage. This is a single with chi. I put
I've got one more throwing action as well I can use after this.
Okay.
So just in case. Probably burn some frenzy as well, get another action. Nice.
Cool. All right. He does cry out as that second swing hits, and it kind of echoes in there. Nil, you hear it. You're pretty sure somebody else heard it.
Darn it.
Winces.
I'll burn a frenzy and do a second heavy attack
Okay.
with the throwing knife. Oh, I put one action, should have been two.
Nice, good.
12.
This mine's 2 because it's on the ground from Pip's attack.
Oh,
Oh, so what's that look like?
yeah. So as the pirate hits the ground, Shazad puts 1 foot up on this rubble here, and gets the extra height and tries to throw a knife down, but the pirate manages to roll clear. It just misses him. And Shazad mutters a curse under his breath as he starts moving forward. So I guess I'll get if I can get some movement.
Yeah.
Just ahead of next round. Let's move to here out of the way. Yeah.
So the pirate
Yep.
hops up and shouts out, something in the orc tongue, and you all hear it kind of echo as he grabs his blade, whips it out for an action. That's a cutlass. As he's kind of stumbling back away from the dwarf, this crazed dwarf, he pulls the blade out and he swings. Single quick attack. That's a nat 1.
He's great at defense, but
I know, right? Go ahead and you can still try to defend, Pip.
Yeah, I think it's dodge that I'm doing.
If you want to. Yeah, you can block with melee if you want to, or...
How do those, like, mechanically work one versus the other?
Block with melee will add +1 to defense. I think it's the best option, actually, if you don't have a shield. But if you match the roll that they make, then there's a chance for, like, a break, or there's a chance to knock the weapon out of your hand, stuff like that. Parry is a good one when they roll really low like that, like really crappy, because it gives you a +1 tally to use on them on your next attack. Sometimes I give it to defense, whatever you want to use it for. To show an additional +1 mod.
So, if I were to parry, then...
Yeah, and if you roll a parry and succeed, which most likely is the best bet, it would actually give you a -1 to parry. It's a little bit harder, but you get a +1 tally back.
Oh, to hit them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Do they use different stats? Like, I'm assuming block with melee and parry are probably strength-based?
No, it's all skill-based. If you use your macro up there, it'll do it all for you. Like if you hit your token and go up to the macro button up there.
Right. So, where are these skills? They're in combat, yeah?
Your combat skill is what, oh, you're talking about where do you get your defenses from?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, look at what my numbers are for each of them to see what I'm better at.
Yeah, your defense you gain from dexterity.
Oh, right, okay, attributes.
Yeah. Your attack
all-
is
they all-
gained from your skill in whatever weapon you're using. But the only thing strength modifies is your the damage that you do with melee weapons. Nice. So it's a successful parry, so you get a +1 tally, which I usually mark with like a blue or whatever with a 1 on it.
Okay.
And just so we can remember. So he stumbles back. I also have to roll his fumble. Oh, I already put it up there. His weapon is gone. Man, way over there. So he tries to, I guess, or you can explain that, actually.
Yeah, so he goes to take a swing, and I just kind of heft Skull Splitter and basically bat the weapon under his hand.
It lands over there on the box there, the crate. I'd say it's a good time for initiative. I'll just do these guys for right now. Hopefully you don't have to fight everybody in here. Alright, this one gets up, he grabs his weapon, and he starts to make his way. What the hell was that? He gets to right here. Can you see him, Nell?
Yes.
You're not hiding, are you? Or do you want to be hiding?
They were, yes.
You were? Okay.
Yeah, they were
Um,
concealed. I think they rolled an 11.
Let's see if he sees you there. The pirate does not see you. The pirate's like looking off over in that direction where the sound came from. Or the
Yeah,
Goblin
nope.
Archer.
Yeah, Nil is crouched behind the rock. Gonna wait for anyone to get too close and strike.
The archer runs over to here. He grabs his bow, kind of notches an arrow. He looks out in the direction over there and see if he notices you. Goblin has a higher perception, but fails as well. Hidden well behind the rocks over there. Alright, it is Tuska, who can do nothing but shake on the door over there. And
Oh, also Nil had rolled an 8. They just didn't get sorted.
oh, let me move that up. And I'm not gonna let this this pirate go before you guys. We're gonna keep the order. So Shazad, and then Pip, and then that pirate, and then Nil is okay. We gotta move you up there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Wonder why it didn't sort.
No, I was supposed to play on it. That's
Oh,
fine. But yeah, Nil is basically just going to ready that as soon as a pirate walks around, they're going to unload upon them.
Cool.
Simple enough.
All right. So you want to hold your action until that happens?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then we will go to, I would say there. All right, Shazad.
Okay, so Shazad's gonna take a step here. I'm trying to think if I can just check if I can.
He is wounded too. Pip, where'd you hit him?
Pip was going for the head.
Okay, so he's probably bleeding from the head.
Okay, so I was trying to see if I can sort of quick draw, but I'm going to have to take an action, I guess, to draw my cutlass.
Okay.
And then I'm going to burn 2 frenzy, and so that will give me. I'm going to do a ×4 combo attack.
Ooh, gonna miss.
Yeah, I'm going to miss now. Yeah.
No, don't
One
miss.
Okay, here we go. Modifier 0, actions 4. Let's try it. Yeah, there we go.
Oh no! All right, -1 on the ground, -2 because I'm outnumbered. Hopefully, I roll bad.
I'd give you my luck. Oh no. I take it back. Give me the back.
All right, Pip.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow through with we'll go 3-hit cheese strike combo. As Pip's just gonna start swinging away wildly. Oh, that's a 14 for the +1.
And you got your extra +1 tally.
It makes it a 14, yeah.
Cool. -2.
And I only do the cheat drain once for that, right?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, right.
That is a successful hit there. I think I put the chi roll. It rolls the chi automatically in your macros. The
Oh.
token macro. Nice. How do you kill this pirate?
Oh, that's a heavy
Pip
hit.
whirls around kicks his knee out from under him, and as he's falling kind of toward this rock here, face first, just brings the hammer down twice
Nice.
on his skull, as Skull Splitter is wont to do. And then I'm gonna start moving this way. Spaces are a bit. Let's see. How do I? Oh. Sorry, having some difficulties. Okay.
All right. Pip takes off after crushing the pirate. Nil is holding actions until this pirate gets right here, which happens right now. It seems he's like about to just like run by you without looking at you behind the rock there. As he sees Pip come out of the hiding over there. Go ahead, Nil.
Yep. Nil's going to go for just one big combo swing. Using all 3 actions. If I could find my sheet, there it is.
If you want to, you can click on your
Yeah.
token and use the token macro.
The modifier is to his defense, right?
What's up?
The modifiers go to his defense, not my attack.
Right. You're just trying to succeed right now.
Alright.
Since he doesn't see you, all you have to do is basically roll over a 1. Nice. So he cannot defend because he hasn't noticed you at all. So this is a sneak attack. So the damage, if you click on token, go up to damage, and then you did a how many hit combo?
3.
3. So power damage is 2 for a sneak attack, and then a combo damage is separate. So this is going to be times 6.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Is that the most damage you've ever rolled?
Probably so far.
Okay. You get an instant saga point, and just make a note somewhere on your character that that's your max damage, 168.
168.
Very nice.
And how do you totally annihilate this pirate?
I imagine it like this. As soon as this pirate steps like beside this rock, Nil immediately sweeps at their leg. They manage to take another step before starting to fall, before the blade goes back through their midsection, and then rises back up through their neck, and the pirate just falls in 3 pieces onto the floor, just splattering towards the bridge.
Perfect. That was awesome. All right. And
That
then
sounds like 168 damage to me, yeah.
yeah, that was nice. You do notice the some kind of essence all of a sudden just like, dragged into that blade. It seems like it sucks up some smoke or something from it. I don't know what that is, but
That does worry Nil slightly, but more worrying is probably the horde of pirates about to come down upon them.
the goblin does take notice of this horrible atrocity that's taking place over there, and his eyes wide. We're being attacked! We're being attacked! And then he's going to take aim and fire at you.
Okay.
He fires a dead-eye shot with his bow. It's a goblin bow. He gains +2 for his aim. And if it hits you, it's ×2. Let's see. I'm gonna say... I think you do have a little bit of cover, at least 2 more cover. So if you want to put a modifier on your... Are you gonna block with shield?
Yeah.
Yeah, please put a modifier of 2 on there from the rocks.
Yep.
That is a
And-
miss.
Shield takes how much damage?
Nothing. As long as your defense doesn't.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right.
Excellent. This thing will last a little bit longer.
Tosca shakes the cage again. She says, that one has the key.
While she's saying that, can I see like how, like what this cage is made from and how good I think the lock is out of turn?
Yeah, you notice the lock there. It's an iron, like mechanical lock. It looks a little bit rusty from where you are in the torchlight. You believe your hammer could take it out.
Okay.
But she's pointing over to the pirate at Shazad's feet. And it's like, yeah, he has the key.
Yeah.
Shazad, what do you do?
Yeah, so Shazad will quickly rummage through the. He's going to retrieve his knife as with one hand as he rummages for the keys with the other hand. Can he see them and get them easily?
Yeah. Actually, make a perception check. We'll see how fast you find it.
Okay.
Target number is 5.
Come on. Oh yeah.
Oh, quickly.
Right. So yeah, grab them quickly, and then I'm gonna run over to here, and then see if I can swing this bridge across.
Nice. And you have the actions left to do it. And I'll put that plank there. Boop.
Hey, thank you. So I think I moved 6, so I can move another 4, I think.
Yeah.
We'll move to there. And hold on, let me have a quick.
She's got her
Yeah, I
hands
think
like out.
that's it. Yeah, Shazad will throw the keys.
Sweet. It bounces
And
off her
then-
hand and then falls down the pit into the water. No, I'm just kidding.
Shazad dives in with a mad grin on his face. And is never seen again.
Alright, is that it for Shazad?
Yeah, he turns at this end of the bridge to face back the way he came and takes up a sort of defensive stance. So hopefully she'll be letting herself out and he
Sweet.
can protect her.
Alright.
If he can, he'll sort of kick a throwing knife over to her as well.
Okay. Pip, what do you do?
Here.
Pip looks like. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I run up here. Let's take a look. That's my, I think 6, that's my full movement there. So...
Alright. Nil,
I'm
what do
just
you do?
going to
Okay.
take an evasive kind of action. If I can do
Alright.
that.
Yeah. Defensive stance.
Yeah.
Alright. Nil, what would you like to do?
How good does this bridge look?
Ooh, let's see. Good thought. Let's see here. It looks rough.
How much could you cover in a jump?
Jumps are hard unless you have Great Leap. Usually 2 hexes, I think, is jumping distance. Let me see.
Yeah, that might be too much.
If I can, I'd like to just shout out, "Hey, take out the bridge!"
And they'll just give Pip a nod. It does seem like it was on their mind.
Is that what you'd like to do?
I want to deal with the goblin. How perilous does this look? This go around?
Oh, the little walk.
The passage
around
that this
that,
part took, yeah.
It doesn't look that dangerous. I mean, I didn't give him any dex checks or anything in that part right there, so...
Yeah, okay.
I guess in the midst of combat, if you're fighting, maybe it would require one, but...
Yeah. Okay. So Nil is going to, for now, just go and slash at the bridge ropes quickly.
Okay. Alright. And indeed, the bridge collapses. And that'll be it for you?
I'm assuming that's one action to move, one action to cut, and then, yeah. Nil will just go back deeper into cover and just crouch down for the archer.
Nice. Alright. Did you want to take full cover or just a little, like half cover?
Half cover to make like a target for the archer.
Okay, cool. Sweet. That's perfect. The goblin does take advantage of it, and he is going to fire. And aims. But you're going to also have plus 6 cover I'm going to give you. So your block with shield will also have a 6 modifier on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no problems. Alright. Tasca takes the key and, you know, undoes it, the lock, with ease. She has pretty agile fingers, it seems. And she says, "Come on now, let's go." And she seems like she's gonna wait right here to grab the plank.
Yep, Shazad will follow. He's sprinting off.
She says, "Let's put it over here." Alright. Shazad does that. Alright. What's Pip do? She looks like she's about to pick up the plank and move it somewhere.
Where did she indicate when she said, let's put it over here?
It looks like she's pointing like over here or something like that.
Do I think it'll reach? It looks a little sketchy.
It does, doesn't it?
Pip will look. It's too short! And, keep moving this way.
That bridge here is rickety, right? The one Pip's on?
That one is, yeah.
Yep.
That'll
Nil's- Yeah, Nil's actually going to point to it. This one. This gap.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like just shouting at Tasca.
Do I
Alright.
need to make a skill check on here? Or?
Yeah, go ahead and make a check there. Target number 3.
Sorry, I'm just like scrolling through. These aren't on the macro yet.
Nice. Alright, I'm gonna put those on the macro for you. Sorry about that. Alright.
That's all good, they're new.
Alright.
Yeah, it'll be defensive stance there as well.
Cool. And as Pip does that, the mutant and the others, I'm kind of grouping them together. The mutant like runs off this way, out of sight, and he's yelling for the others, "We're being attacked! We're being attacked!" That means like many of them. You can see probably in that direction down the, the torchlight and everything. You see many shadows coming, and you're like, oh, maybe this is why the wizard didn't want to come down here. And
This is the real reason. Yeah.
right. But Nil, it gets back to your turn. Any other actions? Oh, you might be muted.
Yes, I was. Alright. Now with people starting to move, Nilla's going to just move over here and try to just shield up. Keep the goblin off of everybody else. I don't know if there's an action to defend.
Yeah, you can do a defensive stance.
Let's do it.
So you're kind of like holding right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do notice that the goblin takes another shot. One more shot, and to speed things along, we're going to kind of narrowly get you guys out of here before the rest of the pirates get there. But one more shot, basically, as you guys are fleeing. And that's what's going to happen right here. If you guys are cool with that, I know it's time's about up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's coming at nil, of course. The Templar. Alright, this is just your shield, though.
Still nothing.
Nice. And you guys can go ahead and tell me what the scene looks like as you guys are kind of running off and escaping.
Pip is gonna run and wait at the foot of the bridge over here. And once everyone else is across, they're gonna just slice it with their throwing knife.
Yeah,
Nice.
Shazad's going to be making sure Tusker makes it out. He can be heard. It was pretty noticeable to those close to him that the more dangerous things got, like when it sounded like there were a lot of them coming, he was kind of giggling into himself under his breath. And yeah, it's kind of where he's not. It's probably quite obvious he's not quite right. But he does help Tusker out, and he thanks the others and heaps praise on them for their cool heads and their deft hands with a blade, and he's very pleased.
Yeah. And the retreat basically was just going to focus on shielding against the arrows as they come.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, like, each arrow comes whistling, and probably bouncing off Nil's shield or maybe sticking into it once or twice, maybe.
Yeah.
Once they're kind of out of the cave, Pip just grins ear to ear. Slaps Shazad on the back. Look at that! Pulled it off in no time at all.
It's times like that you knows you're alive. And at this moment, Shazad's grin is matching Pip's, and they're kind of smiling and clapping each other on the back. And Shazad will turn to Tusker and says, "Well, you has your freedom now."
You can see she's got like tears in her eyes, and she like holds her head for a moment and remembers something, pulls her hat out off of her belt and like unfolds it and puts it back on her head, and she says, I knew he would send someone to save me. Thank you all so much.
'Tis no problem. We has a deal with the gentleman concerned. Well, I think we should find our way to him before these for these rascals behind us find a way past that bridge.
She nods and she says, "Aye, and quickly. My old clan, they're not what they used to be." She kind of has a sour look on her face.
Shazad turns around to Nilgain and Pip and says, "Could one of you do me the favour of picking the way with your special eyes?"
Certainly.
You have special eyes?
No, yeah, Nil's gonna turn to look at Tasca with their eyes glowing a little bit before just simply trying to look around, trying to spot the markings.
And indeed, as you turn to find them, you notice one on a tree here, and then farther off in the mist. They glow quite brightly, actually, in the mist, and you can see another tree far away. To Shazad, it looks like trees. To everybody else, it's just trees. But the astral vision illuminates the way from his wizard marks. And with that scene, you guys head off into the trees, and eventually the pirates do burst out of the cave entrance, looking around, filled with anger. And you notice the leader of the dark orc. He's huge. He's got a big spiked mace, and he's looking around, and he's like, "That wizard's gonna stay dead this time." And that's where we'll end it.
Awesome.
Thank you all
Great.
for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope this worked. Yeah, check us out, www.arcanumsyndicate.com. Have a good night, everybody.